once he's wrapped up there. But yeah, we're just going through some more of the detail of this free trade agreement. We're going to bring in our panel as well, who are with us this afternoon, looking at not just the deal but the relationship itself. Bruce Hawker and Grahame Morris with us this afternoon, our regular Monday afternoon political strategists. We've had to wait a little longer today given all that's been going on. It is a very important day, and Bruce Hawker, I think, is with us from Melbourne. Bruce, I know you've had a lot to do in a business sense with China over the years. How do you rate the significance of this deal being struck today, and particularly what it's going to mean for services, Australian service providers in China?
Well, one of the big problems we've had in the past, David, is that legal services, financial services, banking services have not able to be provided by Australian companies into China. This is a big development, and I think no one should underestimate the importance of that. That will really enhance Australia's position in the region, and I think Andrew Robb is to be congratulated for having negotiated that deal. It's something that a lot of business have been waiting for a long time to see achieved. So I think that's a good result. There are obviously going to be some downside because, for every success there's going to be a failure in a sense. But in terms of opening up those service industries in China, or access to those areas in China by Australian companies, Andrew Robb deserves a big tick for that.
Yeah, Grahame, we know, I was saying earlier, with free trade agreements, there are always some who don't get what they want, miss out, are still behind other competitors. It's always a judgment call on behalf of the government, isn't it? At what point do you stop pushing for more and take what's on the table? It does seem, by the looks of it, that this is a pretty good deal for Australia.
Well, I reckon it's fantastic. I read all the stuff here. You know, tariffs come down, agriculture is good for them, it's good for mining, good for services, good for banks, lawyers, university, nursing homes, schools, dairy, wine, beef, fruit, everything. Extraordinary. The one where I think Andrew Robb did a magnificent job. But this goes back a long way. Back, Howard, Gillard, lots of people. But Andrew Robb pulled it off. The one where he didn't quite get, and I think he would disappoint him, but many people would understand it, is our cropping industry, the wheat, the rice, the sugar. We're coming back to have a look at those in a few years' time. But I gather that sort of stuff was just a bit too hard for the Chinese to swallow, because many of the western parts of their country rely on those sort of things in almost those sort of industries in almost an old-fashioned, labour-intensive way, and that was just too hard for the Chinese to swallow. But in fairness, they've said, well, we'll come back in a couple of years' time and have a look at it. So.
Yeah, that's the thing. They're coming back in 3 years to look at that. What we haven't, and they're also going to have another look at what the Chinese want, which is greater access for their state-owned enterprises to invest in Australia. Grahame, what do you think China gets out of this? Because obviously in all the stuff we've been given, they're not talking that up too much. But obviously China gets something out of this, otherwise they wouldn't be doing it.
You know what I think they get? They get this extraordinary impression that they are the big boys on the block and others come to them. And I think, one shouldn't underestimate the importance in their own mind of that sort of stuff.
Grahame, we'll interrupt you there because I think we are now going to see the leader's remarks. Let's have a listen in.